A few years ago, we bought a rundown abandoned property hidden in the middle of the Smoky Mountains. Anyone else would have seen a disaster, but we saw the vision from the very beginning. We wanted to build a luxury Airbnb glam site, but first, we had to get rid of what was already there.
Just hanging out.
Trust this?
So this is the area that the dome and its common area and campfire area is going to be. Just look over into that mountain. Guys, in the morning, you can definitely tell why it's called the Smoky Mountains because it is literally like covered in smoke. Where Eric is right now is where we have the bathhouse, and this side is actually a little garage that he had for his tools. And so now we're taking that down, and that's going to become part of the platform where we put the dome. So you can definitely have this view from all the way back here. Be careful, babe. That came off easy. I don't think that was attached very well. All right, I'm gonna help Eric clean up this mess, guys, and we will see you when this is all cleaned up and we have a better visual on what we're doing here. We have our little fire going because of course we tore down the bathhouse that was up here, and Eric is up on the roof of the port over the camper, and he's starting to take a lot of that down off the roof. And we have a lot of work still to come just because we're still grading out, guys. We had to scale back this mountain in order to give ourselves some more space on the road. And we are working non-stop to try and get this roof off of here and this decking detached because we do have a sale on the way for the camper. We are now preparing to build the deck to put the dome on. If you guys have been following us for a while, you know that we went to Colorado to the tiny home show and we bought a dome from True Domes, and we could not wait to get back so we can get working on putting it up. Oh gosh. We finally got that humongous structure down. We got the camper down. As you guys can tell, that area is bare and it makes this whole entire mountaintop look so much bigger than we originally thought it was. And I think in a few days, we'll be able to start building the deck for the dome. Well, we are done with one side of the joist and we just have a whole other side to go. That thing looks so amazing. A lot of hard work, but definitely worth it. So we are completely done with the other side. Everything is buttoned and fastened up, and we are now moving on. Eric is now just measuring for some of the boards so we can start getting some of those cut. And we're just moving this project along as fast as we can. We are just kind of buttoning up the top area. Eric is actually going to start prepping for all the utilities. So we have just been clearing out everything that we can from around the deck. And guys, look at how big and beautiful this thing turned out. I cannot believe this is something that we built ourselves. Today is finally the day that we are going to unbox our dome that we bought almost a year ago, guys. Almost a year ago, we went to the tiny home show and we bought this dome, and it's been in this trailer ever since we brought it back to North Carolina. So now we can finally get the dome out. We have not seen this thing since we bought it. The deck is done. The deck is already done. It's already stained. And we're gonna try and at least put the shell up. That way we know where all of our utilities are gonna sit. We have all of the materials that we're gonna need right now laid out here. We have our box of kind of brackets and all of our screws. We have our True Dome instruction manual. We have all of the aluminum pieces. So we're gonna get to putting this dome up, seeing where our window and door lies, where our bathroom is gonna sit, and then we can actually finish running the plumbing underneath the deck. It's gonna be so hard, guys, because it's only the two of us, but we are determined to do this and get this out of the way today. So we may struggle, it may take us longer than the average bear to put this dome up, but we are definitely going to get working on this thing today. I cannot wait to see it up here. So we have a good portion of the dome built so far. We got to the top of it and realized that we needed to get a ladder. We only had one, so we went to the store yesterday and bought a second ladder just because the dome is getting a lot taller than us. We went as far as we can go around. It changes every section you get to. So you have to always be referring back to your instructions, and you also just gotta always keep your eyes open for which part you're using, because the slightest mistake means that you have to go back and do screws, and just it was a headache yesterday. So today we're gonna basically make sure we take our time, make sure we both know which pieces we're using so we can both double check, because it is a team effort. We literally only have that top section left. We got through all of the levels without any mistakes today. That is amazing. It looks bigger than I remember. I was always worried about the sizing of it, but I know it fills up pretty quickly once you start to put furniture and stuff inside of it. I think Eric is laying out the center section right now, because it looks like it's going to be all pieces at once, and that is where it's going to end up being very hard for us to do. But you have to kind of create your star down at the bottom and carry this up on the ladder like this, and each one of those bars is going to reach out to one of those bars, and that's definitely going to be a heck of a spread, but we're gonna have to go up there and get it done. So that looks like it's going to be the most hectic part about putting up the dome itself. It looks like it's going to be this midsection. So now that we're done putting up the dome, I think Eric is going to start taking out the section that we want for the doorway. Once the doorway is in, we'll be able to see if we need to position it in another section. It's kind of hard watching it getting taken apart because we just struggled to put this together, but it is definitely a necessary step. We're gonna let Eric do his thing and figuring out what's the next step, but this thing is pretty much done. So here's the canvas. We're literally just brainstorming right now on how we're gonna get that unraveled, not get it dirty, and then get it on top of this dome. So our dome is about 20 feet wide and about a little over 12 feet tall. So getting to that very top section is going to be a bit of a hassle. So not sure how we are going to end up today, but one thing I do know is we're gonna get this thing on there. So guys, we are actually getting it done a lot quicker than we thought. It's very hard to film because of course we need all hands on deck. But as you can tell, me and Jody are holding the two straps that we put on the ends before we started. And Eric is just going around with a lot of adjusting, making sure we're not caught up on anything and helping to maneuver the canvas where we need it to go. All right, it's gonna be time to put the window on there, and the window is basically velcroed onto the outside portion. It is a huge, clear, picturesque window. It's gonna be so beautiful and I can't wait to get it on there. So we finally got all the posts up that we're going to use for the rails and our stairs. Remember, we actually put the door back this far for a few reasons. One, the hangout area, fire pit, jacuzzi area for the dome. It's gonna be kind of right where you see that pile of ashes. And that's going to be really convenient because now the door is right here. Another reason we did that was because we wanted to make sure that the window of the dome would face out into the mountain and the valleys and give our guests a wonderful view and experience. And would you look at that view?